Good morning, Sir Kamarul Nasir Mokri. Today we would like to present our hazard audit on the bench grinder machine which was conducted based on a workplace incident at Titan Hull Shipyard. This hazard audit was conducted by 4 team members. Puvanesan Anaklakyasa Tampi acted as the team leaders and was responsible for site inspection and machine observation. Nurul Fazila and Asiha binti Ismail were responsible for staff interviews, risk assessment, and hazard control proposal. Ahmad Daniel Zakwan bin Safwan assist in machine inspection, SOP review, and risk control implementation. What happened and why audit was done? Based on our report, Titan Hull Shipyard is involved in both building and repair activities such as welding and metal fabrication. An accident occurred when a worker from the machine and pipe fitting workshop was injured while using a bench grinder and had to be admitted to hospital. Due to this incident, Puvanesan as the employer representative formed a task force together with Nurul Fazila, Asiha Ismail, and Ahmad Daniel to investigate the cause of the incident. What we focus on. The scope of this audit focused on the bench grinder machine and its related work activities in the metal fabrication workshop. According to the report, the audit covered machine condition, PPE usage, work practices, work environment, and worker competency. The objective is to identify hazards, assess risks, and propose control measures to prevent similar accidents. This slide shows the audit process flow that we followed during the hazard audit. First, a preliminary meeting was conducted for task distribution among all team members. During this stage, the audit scope was discussed, an audit checklist and hierarchy form was prepared, as stated in the audit planning and section of the report. Next, hazard identification was carried out. Through site inspection and observation at the machine and pipe fitting workshop, this activity was conducted by Puvanesan and Ahmad Daniel, while staff interviews were conducted by Asiha Ismail and Nurul Fazila to identify real hazard during bench grinder operation. After identifying the hazard, risk assessment was performed by evaluating the likelihood and severity of each hazard. Hazards such as rotating wheel, flying spark, and wheel breakage were assessed using the hierarchy method to determine their risk level. Based on the assessment result, risk control measure was proposed according to the hierarchy of control. This includes engineering controls, administrative controls, and PPE. A budget and implementation plan were also developed to ensure the control could be applied effectively. Finally, a post-audit monitoring plan was prepared. This includes revisiting identified hazard and re-evaluating risk every 2 to 4 weeks to ensure the control for measure remain active and effective and are followed by workers. Okay, thank you.
First, I will explain how the audit was planned and organized. The audit process was well organized and fully completed. Based on the audit checklist in the report, all planned audit activities were successfully carried out. The planning and preparation of the checklist were done collectively by all group members to ensure a systematic audit process. For task allocation, site inspection was conducted by Puvanesan and Ahmad Daniel, while interview and risk assessment were handled by Asiha and Nurul Fazila. This clear division of role helped ensure the audit was conducted efficiently and effectively. Next, I will discuss the hazard identified during the site inspection. During the inspection conducted by Puvanesan, several hazards related to the bench grinder machine were identified. These hazards include rotating and grinding wheel, flying spark, potential wheel breakage, excessive noise, and faulty electrical wiring. If these hazards are not properly controlled, they can cause cut, eye injuries, hearing damage, electric shock, and other serious injuries. Lastly, I will explain the finding from the worker interview. The interview was conducted by Asia Ismail and Nurul Fazilah with the bench grinder operator to understand actual working condition. The operator confirmed that standard operating procedure and safety training were provided. However, minor accidents such as finger cut and eye irritation had occurred before. This showed that although safety measures are in place, risk still exists during daily bench grinder operation, and continuous improvement is necessary. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Ahmad Daniel Zakwan bin Safwan, and I will share with you the audit finding from our group. The first one is electric shock. Electric shock from a bench grinder can happen due to the damaged wiring, poor grounding, or using it with a wet hand. And then next we have an eye injury or skin burn that can occur from a spark, metal particle, or wheel fragment if a proper protective gear isn't worn. And then next we have a hearing damage. Hearing damage can occur from prolonged exposure to the loud noise of the bench grinder, especially without ear protection. The next one, we have a cut or finger injury that can occur if hand to get too close or to the grinding wheel, or proper guards and handling are not being used. And then the last one, we have a wheel breakage or serious injury. They can be happen if a damaged or poor installed grinding wheels shattered. That can be sending the fragment at a high speed that can cause the fatality. Now, I will share to you how to perform the risk assessment. So the risk assessment first is a combination of a severity times likelihood. So with this, we can determine which level hazard of we facing on. Now, if we can see the table of the risk assessment, the eye injury likelihood is 3 and severity is 3, which means 3 times 3 equal to 9, which is we still on the level of medium. And then the hearing damage, we have a 3 also, and then the severity is 3, which is 3 times 3 is 9 equal to medium, still in the medium level. And then we have an amputation, which is a likelihood of 4, and then the severity is 5, which is a 4 times 5 is equal to 20, which is on the extreme level, on the high level. And then we have to the go on the cut to the skin, which is a likelihood is a 4, and then the severity is a 5, which is we still have a 20, and then we can determine is it as a extreme or high. And then we have a respiration 3 times 3 also, we pair the level as a medium. And then we have burns also like hurt 3, and then the severity is 3. We can say also it is on the medium level. Now we have a chart of hazard control, which is we have 5 color. Number 1 is red, and then orange, yellow, green, and blue. Red one is the least effective, which is represent for PPE, where we ask our employee to use equipment to reduce the workplace incident. For example of the equipment is helmet, glove, and respirators. Next, we have orange, which is administrative control, where we use training and multiple procedure to ensure our safety of worker. For example, warming alarm, where we can help our worker to reducing the exposure time to the hazardous substance. And then we have engineering control, which represent for the color of yellow, where we use engineering to keep the hazardous equipment away from our worker. For example, we use technology like noise damping to reduce the high noise produced. And then the color of green is for substitution. Substitution for the hazardous material for non-hazardous material, which we utilizing the non-toxic chemical or material instead of toxic chemical. And then the last one with elimination of, so this is a color blue lah. Eliminating the hazard, which is we can change the work process or to get the not all we changing the work process to get rid of the hazard. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello sir, my name is Purvanesan and I'll be talking about the Hazard Control Action Plan. So this action plan explains the hazard control measures, timeline and the person in charge for the bench grinder operation. So first is eye injury and skin burns. So sparks and hot particles can cause injury to the eyes and skin. Spark guards and PPE such as goggles and face shields are provided. It is conducted in week 1 and is supervised by myself. Next is the cuts and finger injuries. So the hands may be injured if they are too close to the wheel. So tool rests and wheel guards are adjusted to keep a safe distance. It is conducted in week 1 and is handled by Ahmad Daniel. Next is the wheel breakage. So damage of poorly installed wheels can cause serious accidents. So regular inspection and wheel replacement are done in week 2 and is supervised by Ahmad Daniel. Next is electric shock. So faulty wiring or poor grounding can cause electric shock. Electrical inspection and proper grounding are carried out in week 2 under the supervision of by myself. Next is hearing damage. So continuous noise from grinding can lead to hearing loss. So ear protection and job rotation are implemented in week 3 and is managed by Nurul Fazila. Last but not least is the unsafe practices. So lack of awareness can lead to unsafe behavior and accidents. So safety trainings and SOP briefings are conducted in week 3 and is coordinated by Asiha Ismail. So next I'll be talking about the costs related to hazard control implementation. So this table summarizes the estimated costs required to implement the hazard control measures. So the safety goggles and face shields, 10 sets at RM25 ringgit each and including total of 250 ringgit. For the earplugs or ear muffs, 10 sets at 30 ringgit each pairs, totaling up to 300 ringgit. For the wheel guards and spark deflectors, which is one set, so it will be total to 200 ringgit. The electrical inspection and repair is one job, totaling up to 150 ringgit. For the replacement of grinding wheels, which is 10 pieces at RM 40 ringgit for each pieces, totaling up to RM 400 ringgit. Next is the safety training materials. So one pack is totaling to 100 ringgit. So the total estimated cost is 1,400 ringgit, which is reasonable to prevent accidents, injuries and equipment damage. Last but not least, I'll be talking about the closing plan for the HIRAC monitoring schedule. So after implementation, continuous monitoring is required to ensure effectiveness. So all bench grinder hazards are revisited in week 4 by myself and Ahmad Daniel. So the risk levels are re-evaluated in week 4 by Asiha Ismail and Nurul Fazila. Then for the PPA usage is checked weekly by all of us. The machine condition is inspected every 2 weeks by myself and Ahmad Daniel. And last but not least, the refresher safety training is conducted once every 3 months, which will be done by Asiha Ismail and Nurul Fazila. And lastly, we have the HIRAC post-audit checklist. So a post-audit was conducted to verify whether the control measures were successfully implemented or not. So eye injury and skin burn hazards are controlled using spark guards, face shields and safety goggles, which are supervised by myself and Ahmad Daniel. So for the cuts and finger injuries, it is controlled through tool rest adjustment, SOP implementation and proper PPE usage, which is handled by Asiha Ismail and Nurul Fazila. For the wheel breakage risks are controlled with proper inspection, correct installation and wheel guards. It is monitored by myself and Ahmad Daniel. And for the hearing damage, it is controlled using earplugs, ear muffs and job rotation, which is managed by Asiha Ismail and Nurul Fazila. And lastly, for the electric shock risks are controlled through grounding, electrical inspections and insulated gloves. So it is supervised by myself and Ahmad Daniel. So all control measures are marked as done and indicating a successful implementation. Next is, that's about it. So in conclusion, the hazard control and monitoring plan effectively reduce workplace risk. So this ensures a safety compliance and promotes a safer working environment through clear responsibilities and continuous monitoring. Thank you.